Kia ora. In this short video, we take a brief look at early railway history in Rotorua, exploring the days of travel aboard the express rail service from Auckland to Rotorua. The first express train service between Auckland and Rotorua began on the 8th of December 1894. The service ran once a week from Rotorua on Mondays at 9 a.m. and departed Auckland on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. The trip took approximately 8 hours and 40 minutes. The train was hauled by J and L class engines with 44-foot wooden roof carriages. The express became a daily service in October 1902. This period also saw the introduction of Baldwin Q class and N class engines. In December 1903, new 44-foot dining cars were introduced on the service between Auckland and Rotorua. These were the first dining cars catered by the Railways Department instead of by private contractors. The dining car service was withdrawn in 1917 due to wartime conditions. Around 1910, A-class engines were introduced, which saw more engine power. 4 years later, the speed limit was raised to 45 miles per hour, which saw the journey time come down to approximately 7 hours. During and after World War I, there were more cutbacks, and at one point the train combined with the Thames Express at Morrinsville to save costs. In June 1919, all provincial expresses were cancelled due to a coal shortage, but in December the express was back operating. Another significant change in engine power was the introduction of the AB class in the early 1920s. These engines would cut the journey time down to 6 hours and 40 minutes. The service was renamed the Rotorua Limited in May 1930. The 1930s saw the introduction of luxurious steel-panelled cars that were specifically built for the service. An observation car was added at the rear of the train, and the journey time was further reduced to 6 hours. The name was soon changed back to the Rotorua Express. At the beginning of the Second World War, the AB engines were replaced with K-class engines, which could handle the heavier passenger loads. These were soon replaced with J-class engines. Coal shortages saw the service be reduced to 3 times per week in 1944. In 1951, further cuts reduced the trains to 2 per week. By this time, there were as many as 5 or 6 buses running per day, with the trip taking only a little over 5 hours. The train couldn't compete with bus services, and passenger numbers continued to decline. The Rotorua Express ran for the final time on the 6th of February 1958. It was replaced by a railcar service using 88-seater diesel rail cars, which ran every day except Sunday. This service was discontinued on November 11, 1968. It was announced in 1988 that the site of the travel centre, including the Rotorua station, was to be redeveloped, and the yard was lifted during the following year. The former transport centre is now the site of the Rotorua Central Mall complex. In December 1991, the Geyserland Express, a new railcar service to Rotorua, was reinstated. Initially there were 2 services each way daily, but in April 1995, the afternoon service was reduced to Friday and Sunday only. In November 1996, the service closed permanently. Thank you for listening.